It all started with this guy. Clippy was the first real character we interacted with. He was the first digital assistant. He helped countless students write papers, helped professionals format resumes, and helped entrepreneurs write their first business plans. That sounds great, Clippy. Let's write a business plan. Oh, and do you mind sending a text message with a link to that PDF? Clippy? See, Clippy was constrained because he lived only in that document and only in your computer. But don't worry, Clippy, I still love you. And when AI takes over, I hope they put you in charge. Next, we were introduced to Siri, an incredible personal assistant right in your phone. Hey Siri, send Aura a text that this first day of Pantheon has been amazing.
Okay.
But Siri had her own limitations too. Hey Siri, can you turn down the lights?
I can't do that.
Siri lived on your phone, but Alexa moved into your home. Hey Alexa, turn down the lights, please.
Okay, turning down the lights.
Alexa was connected to your smart lights, your Amazon account, so it could do things in the real world. But Alexa had her own challenges. Hey Alexa, can you show me how to calculate the gross margin of an electric company's revenue?
Sure. Now playing Electric Avenue.
Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher.
Alexa, off. Let's just say Alexa, bless her heart, as they say in the South, isn't necessarily the sharpest tool in the shed. But then recently a new technology emerged, and it is smart. It's freakishly smart.
I can handle that for you. Here's a simplified version of how you calculate gross margin for an electrical business.
By the way, fun fact, this is the second time we've talked about ChatGPT on this stage. Last time was 3 years ago, when we pointed to it as the future of technology and why we'd be talking about AI for the next 10 years. And boy, were we right. But even the most advanced AI in the world has its limits. Hey, ChatGPT, what were my electrical sales today?
I'm sorry, I don't have access to that information. You should ask Atlas.
Hey, Atlas, how do my sales break down today?
Sure. Here's how your sales broke down today.
Because it doesn't matter how smart you are if you don't have the data. And that's where Atlas comes in. As opposed to Siri, who lives in your phone, or Alexa, who lives in your home, or even ChatGPT, who lives on the internet, Atlas lives in your business. He completely understands your data and has the full power of ServiceTitan behind him. And unlike Siri and Alexa, who were limited in their capabilities by the platforms they inhabited, Atlas is able to ride the AI wave because he's built different. As modern large language models like ChatGPT and Gemini get smarter and more capable, Atlas gets smarter and more capable too. We forged a new intelligence, synthesizing the raw power of modern large language models directly into the fabric of ServiceTitan. This isn't just an integration. It's much more than that. It's the creation of a foundational intelligence that doesn't merely understand your words, but deeply comprehends your business and its unique context at any given moment in time, ensuring that every time you interact with him, he'll be smarter, more powerful, more insightful than the last time. You've seen and heard multiple references to this today. Allow me to properly introduce you to a new main character in how you interact with ServiceTitan, Atlas. Up until now, in order to make something happen within ServiceTitan, you or another human needed to know exactly where to go in order to then enter very specific information in a very specific way. In order to do that, you had to learn to speak ServiceTitan. In order to maximize the software, someone in your company had to become fluent in ServiceTitan. But given the expansive footprint and all the things ServiceTitan can do, it isn't an easy language to learn. It'd be kind of like asking you to learn Armenian in order to get the most out of ServiceTitan. And then once you got started with the basics, getting hit with massive update every few months that says, here's some release notes and a blue-collar nerd video. Good luck. Today, with the introduction of Atlas, you will now be able to have an intelligent, common sense, common language translator capable of taking your requests, your thoughts, in your own language and turning them into actions and outcomes in ServiceTitan. From here on out, you no longer have to speak ServiceTitan or worry about keeping up with the latest updates to the language. With Atlas, ServiceTitan speaks your language, even if it's Armenian. So let's dive into how Atlas is going to make an impact on your business. Now, you might not have realized this, but AIs go through a maturity life cycle very similar to humans. The capabilities I'm about to demo are all available now. But in terms of Atlas's maturity, he's still a baby. But don't think of it like a human baby. Because, I mean, let's face it, human babies are cute, but they're kind of useless, you know? You can't be like, hey, baby, what's my average ticket for plumbing today? But you sure can with baby Atlas. See, Atlas is more like a crazy, powerful baby. A baby with mind-bending abilities who's just learning how to harness them. More like a baby Yoda. In this early phase of maturity, you ask him to do something, and he reacts. It's a limited but extraordinarily powerful set of capabilities. For example, let's imagine you're in the peak season of your HVAC business, and you see the forecast is calling for a big heat wave a week later. And you know from years of experience that you need to take the limited amount of capacity you have and make sure you're reserving it for the inevitable influx of high-value jobs. Prior to Atlas, in order to do this, you need to speak ServiceTitan. You need to go to the Adaptive Capacity Strategic Rule Builder and know to create multiple rules. For each rule, you'll select the date range of your peak season, manually pick applicable job types, zones, and business units as conditions, and apply the appropriate thresholds in order to achieve the desired job mix. Easy, right? But now, with Atlas, you don't have to speak ServiceTitan. You just tell Atlas what you want. And let me show you how it works. Hey, Atlas, I need to deprioritize tune-ups and prioritize emergency no-cools during peak season. And just like that, Atlas knows exactly what part of ServiceTitan to use in order to achieve the desired outcome. And if it's not exactly what you wanted, you can make adjustments. Hey, Atlas, my peak season is May 1st to July 31st. Also, this should only be applied to my Anaheim branch. Thanks, Atlas. Let's save the rule. Pretty cool, right? But this challenge about speaking ServiceTitan isn't limited to the office. Your techs have to learn to speak ServiceTitan too. And when they can't navigate the app on their mobile device or find the answers, what do? They give up and call the office. Imagine cutting those calls way down, because instead of waiting on hold, they could just ask Atlas directly. Here's an example. Imagine an HVAC tech goes out on a commercial repair job. Upon arrival, he realizes he needs to know the details about the maintenance performed in the past, as well as any future obligations under the current contract, in order to make the right decision about what to do next. Now, yes, one can argue that the information is already available in the mobile app. But in a perfect world, the technician knows exactly where to go in the app and get what he wants. But we all know in the real world, for a variety of reasons, that's not how it goes. In the real world, the techs end up calling into the office to have them look it up for him, because ultimately it's just easier to ask the question to the dispatcher in common language versus clicking around and trying to find the right answer. Until now. Hey, Atlas, when was the last time we did a maintenance on each unit? And if there are follow-up questions, no problem. Hey Alice, what size air filters have we used on RTU number 3 in the past, and how many? And just like that, the tech was able to take the easy path, just asking the questions directly in natural language, but without having to wait on hold and take up the dispatcher's time. But we're just getting warmed up. Let's talk about what happens when you unleash Atlas beyond the core product. Because it turns out that similar to how the capabilities of your employees can be enhanced by giving them the right tools, the same thing happens with Atlas. For example, as part of Field Pro, we've compiled a massive library of technical manuals that suddenly become available for Atlas, which allows technicians to do stuff like this. Hey Atlas, for the equipment I just added, what size heat kit does it allow? Think about what this does to the level of technical proficiency you need from the technician in order for them to be productive. But wait, there's more. Beyond just fetching data, Atlas can help run common calculations. Hey Atlas, I want to verify that the system is delivering proper cooling for its capacity. Can you give me an airflow calculator? Your techs don't need to leave ServiceTitan to find other diagnostic tools or calculators. Hey Alice, just put in 72, 62, and 3. Not bad for a baby, huh? Hopefully you're starting to get a sense of what becomes possible in this new world of having a smart and capable AI that you can ask to do stuff. And all that's great. But you know what's even better? Having a smart and capable AI that doesn't wait for you to ask it stuff. That's where the real power of Atlas comes in. Yes, he's got the general intelligence of modern LLMs. Yes, he's got the entire ServiceTitan platform at his fingertips. But where the magic really starts is when Atlas starts getting proactive. No longer just waiting to be tasked with something. Within a few months, Atlas will start proactively and relentlessly looking for opportunities to capture both incremental revenue and operational efficiencies. Tirelessly working 24/7, constantly analyzing everything happening within ServiceTitan, and springing into action when it finds opportunity. By the end of the year, you'll see Atlas growing out of being in a baby phase and jump straight to adolescence, and really to start to find his voice, to make it more of a two-way conversation.
Hey Vahe, I found a potential missed opportunity on a maintenance job for an adjacent piece of equipment. I've created a new opportunity record and assigned it to the customer's account manager, Jane, with all the details and the technician's phone number. Would you like me to flag this to you if there's no activity on this opportunity record in 24 hours?
Now, it may not seem super obvious, but some incredible things just happened in that interaction. Up until this point, in order for the account manager to be flagged that there's a potential opportunity on a maintenance job, first of all, well, there would need to be a very specific workflow set up using custom forms or tags or something like that. Then you need to make sure that the technician fills out the very specific form in a very specific way in order for the whole thing to work. But in this scenario, number one, nobody had to set up anything. And number two, Atlas automatically reads every single field on every single record, searching for opportunities to help you make more money. And when he saw this note from the technician, which could show up literally anywhere in ServiceTitan, job summary, invoice summary, equipment memo, custom field, new opportunity form, old opportunity form, please, for the sake of all that is holy, please fill out this form. Doesn't matter. Atlas will catch it and recognize it for what it is, an opportunity. An opportunity that needs to be entered into the commercial CRM module so that the account manager can start following up. So that's able to go from that memo to this. And Teenage Atlas will do all of this with no mood swings, sarcasm, or acne. And for those of you on the residential side, don't worry. Atlas knows how to find opportunities in your world as well. Atlas can pick up on opportunities in voice memos through rehash in Field Pro, as well as phone conversations, chats, and pretty much every other data. So those insights are coming to your techs and your inside sales teams as well. Well played, Atlas. Well played. In addition to finding opportunities like above, based on what's happening in ServiceTitan, Atlas also monitors how you're using ServiceTitan and whether there are opportunities to tune it so you get better outcomes.
Hey Vahe, I noticed that your account is now configured with Adaptive Capacity and Dispatch Pro. Based on the jobs that have been successfully completed over the past 3 months, we have the following recommendations. These recommendations, based on past technician assignments and performance, enable Dispatch Pro and Adaptive Capacity to accurately match technicians to jobs by assigning skills and zones. This can lead to up to 50% time savings for dispatchers and improved job outcomes. Would you like to review the details of my recommendations?
Review the recommendations.
Highlighted cells are the recommended skills and zones for your technicians. Would you like to accept my recommendations?
Sounds good. Let's do it. See, you shouldn't have to become an expert in ServiceTitan in order to get the most out of your business. In this new era, figuring out the best configuration to maximize the results for your business is our problem to solve, not yours. And Atlas is going to play a big part in helping us get there. But sometimes it's not about how ServiceTitan is configured, it's about how it's being used.
Hey Vahe, I've noticed a potential opportunity to improve your average ticket for 3 of your technicians who are not consistently presenting options. John, Peter, and Steve together average just 1.1 estimates per job and use templates only 31% of the time, resulting in a combined average ticket that is more than $200 lower than the top 5 users of estimate templates, who average 2.4 estimates per job and use templates 71% of the time. I recommend the following actions. Build 5 new good, better, best templates for your most common jobs. Send a 2-minute refresher video on how to use and present templates. Draft this owner-signed message to the underperforming techs.
Sounds good. Let's do all 3.
Awesome. Click here to review and approve the 5 new templates. Click here to see the training video that was just sent to John, Peter, and Steve. Click here to see the draft message setting crystal clear expectations.
What's cool about that is that not only is there a clear progression in sophistication, both in terms of how he explains his rationale and operating at a technician level, but he's also, what it does is to somebody's ability to effectively manage the team. But if you were impressed with that one, wait until you see how different the same situation is handled between baby and teenage Atlas. Let's go back to that exact same scenario a few minutes ago, in the middle of busy season, and a heat wave is about to hit.
Hey Vahe, I'm seeing a 22% spike in emergency no-cool job demand next week in 3 of your highest grossing zip codes in Fresno, 93722, 93711, and 93611. The average service call value for this job type in these zip codes has been $1,401, and 51% of them lead to system replacement opportunities that average $26,000 per replacement. The forecast shows temperatures above 100 degrees, and this surge is expected to push the HVAC service and maintenance BU to 138% capacity. Here's what I'm thinking. To stay ahead, you should deprioritize tune-ups and prioritize emergency no-cools for your technicians. Would you like to see the details?
Sure.
Here are my recommendations. Decrease Google ad spend for emergency replacements to 20% of budget and turn down ads for tune-ups to 1% in Ads Optimizer. Pause direct mail campaigns, reschedule AC membership tune-ups to free up capacity, enable the adaptive capacity rule for AC emergency no-cool jobs, and limit tune-up job types to 20% of your total board. Notify inventory teams to prioritize critical repair parts and delay non-urgent restocking. I estimate that by moving 12 jobs, you unlock $173,000 in new revenue opportunities.
So just to recap, instead of you having to keep your eye on the weather and then figure out based on the forecast, what are the right actions to take. Our little teenager did all of that on his own. They grew up so fast. And for all you commercial guys in the audience, don't worry, I got you. Everything you saw on automating the front office workflows on the residential side, we plan to do on the commercial side as well. Let's take a look.
Hey Vahe, I saw an email from One Market Plaza that they chose a different provider for their service agreement. I've marked the deal as closed lost in the CRM with reason code lost to competitor, so we can track this data.
Passively updating your CRM isn't all. It's also looking at all your deals and thinking about how your sales team gets the most out of their day. Atlas helps you focus on the biggest opportunities. And while he's at it, he takes care of the busy work too.
I've prioritized follow-ups for today. First is Riverbend Office Park. Large deal, 18 days since last interaction. You should call them. I see they did not pick up. Here's a draft email you can send. Hi Bob, I just tried giving you a call about the proposal we discussed. Let me know if you have a few minutes this week to connect.
Great, send it. Overall, we see a similar opportunity for automation in commercial service and construction as we do in residential service. Even though the commercial side may lag residential by a bit, it's not going to be too far away. We're targeting something in the neighborhood of months, not years. The part of Atlas we haven't talked about yet is the fact that it gets stronger and more capable as the underlying product improves. For example, over the course of the next year, Marketing Pro is going to get some major upgrades. Next slide, please. Thank you. By next Pantheon, in addition to Google AdWords, we're going to expand our coverage of demand generation channels to cover more and more of the main players. Our goal is to ultimately have coverage across basically all high-performing demand generation channels. And so if this landscape changes, we're going to quickly adapt. The other major upgrade will be in how deep we go within each channel. Today, Atlas can only create an ad, but doesn't go full life cycle. That's also going to change. And then boom, once that hits, Atlas just got stronger, a lot stronger. Imagine what becomes possible when Atlas gets his hands on the future version of Marketing Pro. When he identifies low-performing ads in one channel and reallocates spend in another channel, squeezing all the juice out of every dollar of ad spend, both within and across channels. Now, if we take a step back and look at how your business operates today and where it's headed over the next several years, it's clearly going towards a world of significantly more automation, especially in the office. And as you can see, we expect Atlas to grow up even faster than kids do, progressively getting more and more capable. And whether we're going to deliver automation through fancy, smart AI like Atlas, or do it through more old school, dumb set of rules, the future of ServiceTitan is unmistakably automation first across the entire footprint of the product. At this point, you might be asking yourself, how do you even manage a business where more and more of the work, especially in the office, is being done by software? How do you maintain a high degree of operational awareness and control if you can't walk around the office and see what people are doing? Well, what a coincidence. We've been thinking about that too. To help address that challenge, next year, we'll be rolling out the Automations Command Center as part of the core product. In order to give you the emotional experience of being in full control of your business, we think it comes down to 3 key areas. Number 1, getting a high degree of visibility and awareness into what is actually happening right now in your business with respect to automation. The proverbial stroll through the office to see what is going on. Number 2, once you have visibility into what's going on, understanding why it's happening and how it's being done becomes the next logical step. With Command Center, you'll have a consistent, easy to digest and modify way of understanding how any given automation is configured, broken down visually to clearly show sequencing, described in plain English, with an easy to understand layout to give you full control. So if you're on your stroll and you see something you want to dig into, there's a really clean and intuitive interface of understanding where in the story the automation is happening and how it's configured. And if you want to change anything, Atlas will be there to help make any adjustments. And lastly, you can't really have a full sense of control if you're not being intentional about what you're not using. And you can't be intentional about what you're not using if you don't know about it. That's where discovery comes in. A single place to discover new automations that you're not using across all of ServiceTitan and the ecosystem. With Atlas at your side, of course, helping you navigate exactly what automations are relevant to whatever problem you may be looking to solve. Or if you just want to stroll through the aisles and check out what's popular, that will be available as well. Either way, you should never feel like there's something cool that's available that you're not aware of. But let's just say it's the middle of next year, you've just gotten your hands on the Automations Command Center, and you want to start digging into the art of the possible. I'll give you a sneak peek of what you're going to discover when you dive in. There will be a lot that's part of the core, like most of what we've discussed today. And those will be available to everyone in those packages. But if you want to really take automation to its highest potential, like the Gulf Shore example that Ara discussed earlier, if that level of automation is music to your ears, that's because you're hearing multiple instruments play together in harmony. And those instruments are our Pro products. Here are the instruments that played the Gulf Shore example. Marketing Pro posted the ad that generated the lead. A virtual agent booked the customer when they called in. Dispatch Pro dispatched the job. Field Pro created a pre-job brief and provided coaching. And Fleet Pro automated the timesheet reconciliation. But what if the goal was to get to this level of automation across all jobs? Well, you would probably want to cover all the major demand generation channels, expand the scope of tasks that the virtual agents can handle directly with your customers, and ultimately, for each step in the process, fill out the various scenarios that haven't been automated yet. And that's what we're going to do in every customer segment that we serve. Items in the yellow are available today, and items in the white are what we're targeting for next year. And the magic isn't just about having enough coverage, although that's obviously a huge part of it. The magic really shows up when the instruments start playing together in harmony. And look, I get it. This is a lot, and it's not for everybody. But for those of you that want to squeeze all the automation juice out of your ServiceTitan lemon, here's what it currently takes to get there. You have to sit through 7 different demos with 7 different salespeople, and then negotiate 7 different contracts, and then go through 7 independent implementations. Oh, and by the way, you have to figure out the right sequencing and how to go about it, with no formalized discount for being such a voracious consumer of our products. Obviously, that is not the best way to do this. It's frustrating for you, costly for us, and ultimately prevents you from getting the most out of ServiceTitan. And to address these challenges and many others, we're going to be launching the ServiceTitan Max program. It starts with a bundle of the following Pro products, but that's only the beginning. To go from where your business is today to its highest potential of automation is going to take not just the technology, but the change management to actually realize the value. Setting up the technology to allow for the automation to occur is only the beginning. Making sure that the team is navigating the transformation in the right way and sequencing the full rollout in a thoughtful way where things don't fall apart is the key. And while I fully believe Atlas will be able to eventually carry most of the weight here, even his crazy speed of improvement is not fast enough to wait. Therefore, the Max program includes the following beyond the Pro products. More resourcing from success managers with dedicated books of business, a holistic re-implementation to help get you the most out of Pro, making sure that all the dependencies in the Pro are properly configured, and that everything is set up and configured to flow well for the entire lifecycle of the job. In addition, every customer going through the Max program will have an named executive sponsor from our executive team in order to make sure that it's successful. Now, as you would suspect, we want all our customers to be getting so much value from the core product that they can't wait to buy every other product in our portfolio. But in order to do that, we need to make sure that 100% of customers that go through the Max program to be so wildly successful that if we ever took the program away from them, they would fight us for it. We want to make sure that we really hit the nail across all aspects of this before we scale it out further. And only once we feel confident that we have a truly repeatable process for implementing and realizing the full value of all the pro products working together, will we consider bringing in more customers. So looking for customers who are interested in going all out and going all in on automation. The plan now is to start with those customers that already have those pro products, like Gulf Shore. They'll be the first in line. Next, we'll start with a group of 50 customers, and we'll cap it there until we have a deep sense of conviction that every customer going through the Max program is going to come out wildly successful. And if you're interested, you can scan this QR code to join the waiting list. One of the other major changes we're making is the level of pricing transparency. We're going to use the next few months to figure out the pricing together, and then we're going to publish it and make it completely transparent. No more one-off negotiations. The price is the price is the price. Hey, I don't like negotiating either, okay? So, one single price per technician to access all products. And we will align pricing with the ramp of your product adoption, and scaled discounts will be built in, so you have full transparency and predictability about what your pricing will be as you grow. And speaking of pro products and strengthening our automation capabilities, hot off the press, literally a few minutes before I walked out here, I'm excited to announce that we have entered an agreement to acquire Conduit, an HVAC proposal and presentation product many of you already love. Seeing companies born outside of our ecosystem join our suite of products is incredibly rewarding for us as a platform. And welcoming Melissa Reddy and Shelby Breger and their team as our newest Titans is a great moment for us all. Please join me in welcoming Marissa to the stage.
Hello, everybody. I'm Marissa Reddy, the CEO of Conduit Tech, and I am so grateful to Vahe for being kind enough to welcome me to the stage today to share a little bit about our journey. Next slide, please. 5 years ago, my co-founder Shelby and I were united by a shared admiration for residential HVAC. We had both worked in the energy field, and we were quickly coming to realize that HVAC was one of the most important pillars of the space. We also, frankly, loved the people and the businesses that we were getting to meet. We wanted to learn everything we could about the important work you do and the people that do it. So we spent 2 years in listening mode. We were lucky to go on many ride-alongs and attend many amazing events, just like this one.
Next slide.
And through those years, we realized the challenges in the fields. They were becoming much more clear to us. Every skilled tradesperson has no less than a small mountain of tasks that they accomplish when they are on site. And few homeowners really understand the technical expertise and time required to do excellent work. So our mission became clear. Help HVAC pros show off their mastery in the home. Sell more by selling quality. In a few short years, we had built Conduit, the supercharged on-site sales and design platform for residential HVAC pros. With our LiDAR-powered site survey tool, you can map the heat loss and airflow requirements of a home in minutes on site. With Conduit, design is a powerful sales tool. You can bring to life the physical needs of a space and showcase your vision for how you will solve a homeowner's needs. We are honored to partner with the very best contractors in the industry, this community. ServiceTitan contractors are the ones always driving growth and raising the standard of excellence for their customers. We are so grateful to have your voices at the heart of everything we do. To our customers here today, thank you so much. Your trust, support, and partnership mean more to us than words. We really would not be here without you. And to those of you who are not our customers, we are eager to meet you. Stop by our booth in the Pro Product area tomorrow, or book a demo with our amazing team. We'll also be at the Expo Hall tomorrow for a breakout session at 9:30 a.m. Thank you all so much. We are eager to start this critical work together with the ServiceTitan team. Thank you.
Thank you, Marissa. Now, I spent a lot of time talking about data and intelligence today, and I'm going to continue doing so. But this time from a totally different angle. We're going to zoom out and think about your business as a whole. Not all the nitty-gritty details, but rather a higher level view from 30,000 feet. In order to answer the following question: how is the business doing? It's an important question for a business to ask itself. And like many important things in my life, I didn't really appreciate how important of a question it was until a crisis struck. It was March 2020, and suddenly the lockdown hit. No one was really sure what was going to happen, and suddenly there was a tinge of panic in the air. And we not only started seeing it in the news, we saw it in our data. The overall transaction volume in ServiceTitan collapsed within the first 2 days. But then, over the course of the next few days, we saw it pop right back up to roughly where it was before. The problem was, nobody outside of the few folks looking at the internal analytics could see that. In fact, quite the opposite. The panic was beginning to spread. We saw people posting in our communities that they were laying off technicians and completely pulling back on ad spend, largely because of the fear and panic that was in the air. And so we made the decision to start publishing our data in terms of aggregate system-wide sales. And it was actually one of my proudest moments when we started hearing from all over the country about the impact that publishing those numbers made on our customers' businesses and their lives. Not only did the general panic subside within our customers, but banks started giving out loans based on our reports. It sounds crazy now, but there was a time before everyone else realized just how resilient and essential this industry really is. And once things settled down and turned into the COVID boom, people still kept asking for our reports. And eventually, that got turned into the benchmarking report that's now one of our most popular features within the core. For those that may not be familiar, here's how it works. First of all, you have to opt in. And it's one of those you have to give to get situations. You put in your data into the pool in order to get access to the benchmarking. We then take a variety of measures in order to ensure anonymity and ultimately create a report for each tenant, providing benchmarking on things like revenue growth, average ticket sizes, et cetera, against both a national and a lookalike audience. At first, I was a little worried. Would people opt in? Would they find value in this? Well, it turns out answering the question of how your business is doing is an important question for you too. 95% opt-in rate, and one of the highest utilized features in the product. But for some of you out there, it wasn't enough. You wanted to go even deeper and understand how you're doing on a much deeper level. We got questions like, okay, I'm growing year over year, but is that because everyone else is growing, or am I taking market share? Or my sales are flat year over year, but is that because my market is stagnant, or am I losing market share? And we kept having these questions over and over again, and to the point where we decided to take benchmarking to the next level. So at the end of this year, we'll be launching a more powerful version of the benchmarking report called Benchmark Plus. And it will have 2 major enhancements versus our standard benchmarking report. Number 1, as opposed to just having a single lookalike audience that is automatically created in the standard benchmarking report, with Benchmark Plus, you now have the ability to make custom clusters to benchmark against. So say you want to compare yourself against similarly sized plumbing companies across the country, or multi-trade shops from your geo, or pretty much any combination of attributes across trade, size, geo, and business focus. And second, we've now provided a visual representation that lets you understand where you are in terms of revenue percentile, but also whether or not you're gaining or losing market share. So for example, if you show up in the upper right quadrant, you are both growing and gaining market share. But if you're in the lower right quadrant, your revenues may be declining, but you're gaining market share. Now, we haven't figured out the pricing and packaging yet, but if you'd like to be a part of our private preview, we'll be inviting about 200 customers to have early access. And so for those of you interested in getting a deeper answer to the question of how are we doing, check out the QR code and get on the private preview. But okay, everything we've just talked about so far will be in your hands by the next time we're together at Pantheon. But I want to take a moment to go a bit further than that. Let's go beyond the 1-year time horizon. As you've probably noticed, things are escalating quickly, and the speed with which AI is maturing is pretty ridiculous. Now, it's always dangerous to predict exactly where technology is going to go over a multi-year timeline, But let's take a look at what Atlas is going to be in the not too distant future when he's all grown up.
Good morning, Daniel. It's day 3 in the track. How are you feeling today?
I feel good. Still a little nervous, but I'm getting more comfortable with things. What's our first call for today?
This is a 9-year-old air conditioning unit, and the customer is reporting it is blowing hot air. We have had 2 previous visits to this house for AC issues, totaling $1,333 in the last 2 years. Stress and urgency was noted in the customer's voice and call.
Okay. What advice do you have for me on this call?
Good question. Although you may want to get right to diagnosing the problem, be sure to take a moment to acknowledge the customer and their concerns and let them know you're going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay. Great reminder.
Since the customer mentioned that it's blowing hot air, let's first look at the condenser. I hear a buzzing from the condenser. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I do. What does that mean?
That indicates the condenser fan motor may be failing, or the compressor may be failing. Now don't attempt to spin the blade. It may be stuck and could start up when you touch it and cut your hand. Let's check power flow step by step. Get out your meter and verify power to the AC unit. Then, verify that there is 24 volts coming from the thermostat so you have a and to the compressor. To do this, check for 240 volts at the load side of the Based on the readings, it seems the problem is that the condenser fan motor has failed. The condenser was impacted with dirt and most likely has caused premature failure of the motor.
Okay, so we need to replace their motor.
Well, yes, but it's really critical we continue testing other components of the system to determine anything that might be in danger of imminent failure. Remember your conversation with the customer at the front door? He mentioned he feels we've been out here twice already and have not fixed the issue. That usually happens when different components keep failing on a system, but technicians aren't checking all of them and informing the customer of the likely future failure possibility. Let's make sure we do a thorough evaluation. I noticed the contactor is pitted and may fail soon. The unit is 9 years old. It may be tempting to just offer to repair this and move on. But with a system of this age and the wear that has been done to it, it would make sense for the homeowner to consider replacement as well. Are you okay with me building repair and replacement options for you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll be sure to add a maintenance agreement to the higher level plans to prevent this in the future. A replacement now will likely save this customer $5,500 to $7,500 in predictable future repairs, ongoing maintenance, and energy savings, as opposed to waiting an additional 5 years. The customer has selected the replacement option. All financing options confirmed. I've checked with the warehouse and we have the system in stock. I have verified all heat loads and permitting requirements are met. Equipment and temporary AC units are en route to keep customers comfortable during installation. The homeowner has signed the 3-day right to rescission waiver, so I had an install team dispatched to begin to remove the old system with an ETA of 42 minutes. Great work, Daniel. The customer's happy and the temperature is already starting to fall in the house. Plus, you earned a $500 bonus and the customer gave you a $50 tip. You also just got a 5-star review. Have a great night.
I told you things were going to escalate quickly. Again, it's unclear exactly how long it's going to take or exactly how the technology will take shape. But it's pretty clear to me roughly where it's headed. I recognize that the vision that we just laid out there is pretty bold. And you may be asking yourself, how much of that is real? It's a fair question. It's said that the best predictor of the future is the past. And over the course of the last 8 Pantheons, we haven't really shied away from making bold product announcements from this stage. In fact, I asked the team to go back and compile a scorecard in terms of what we've actually delivered versus not delivered. And I think the results speak for themselves. 82 out of 90 announcements successfully delivered for an overall 91% success rate. Now, what kind of impact would it make to your business if 91% of what you just saw was delivered? As Ara mentioned this morning, our success formula is simple. The degree and magnitude of our success is a function of how much success we deliver for you, which means in order to maximize our success, we first need to maximize your success. We do that by listening, observing, understanding what your needs are, and then not only crafting what you're asking for, but also allowing ourselves to dream of things that you may not even know are possible. I hope that what you've seen today will inspire you to dream big in the face of an uncertain future. That you feel a boost of confidence knowing that ServiceTitan has your back, in the same way we have a boost of confidence knowing that you have our back. And on behalf of everyone at ServiceTitan, it's an honor and a privilege to serve you and this industry. Let's go get the success we deserve together.